Hi everyone, welcome to Mostra Monday. I'm your host, Jelynn Malone, co-founder of Mostra Coffee. So excited to be back in the studio today with Jaiden Rodriguez. How are you?
Good.
I have been hearing about this girl for quite some time. I'm so grateful that you and your parents agreed to let you come and chat with me today. I know that you've got a lot going on today. She's got a game today, and she snuck in a little time for us here at Mostra. So let's just get into it. So you've been doing soccer for how many years?
Around 10 or 11 years. I started when I was 3 or 4. So.
Oh, you did? Okay, and then where did you start?
Playing rec, so here in Forest Ranch at AYSO, and then I moved to club a couple years later.
Okay, so what club did you start with? Because I have kids in soccer now. I've got my 6-year-old playing at Force, and then my 8-year-old was at Force, and now she's at Surf. So that's what's really interesting about you two, is that you are from the neighborhood, but you are doing things on a national and international level. And, you know, that's why here at Mostra, on Mostra Monday, we like to feature stories about people that are just, you know, breaking the mold and just like doing really incredible things and performing at like a really, really high level like you are. So I just want for all those kids at home, my 2 little girls who look up to you, you know, just to really understand kind of just your process from being a kid to where you are now, because you're 16 now.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And still in high school. Are you going into senior year or junior year?
Junior year.
So when so you started soccer, you said at 3 or 4. So did you start in rec or did you go straight to club?
I started in rec and then shortly moved to smaller club, Force obviously, which is not as big on the scale when it comes to like when you get older, you can see like the different clubs. So it was definitely on the smaller side. Shortly then I moved to SDSC, which is kind of like just another smaller club. It's bigger now, but I moved to SDSC and I played an age group up actually, and then I moved to San Diego Surf. So now I've been here for like 4 years now. So
okay. So when you were little, were you like exceptionally natural at soccer right out the gate?
No, actually, I was just very athletic. Like, I just had a lot of energy, so I had to put it somewhere.
Okay.
And my dad he threw me in, and, you know, I just went at it, and I was athletic. So, I mean, the competitiveness came out of me.
Okay.
But naturally, like, technically, no, I didn't have really much
Okay, so there's hope for my daughter, Harlow. Like, she's got a lot of energy, and I feel like she's athletic, too. But she'll be like, I just want to eat snacks, you know? So when did people start noticing that you had something special?
I started training with my private trainer I started like 8 years ago. So that's when I started getting like better, I guess. Like my feet or my skills were getting better. People would see passing, and also just game understanding was getting a lot better. And that's when I started moving up into like different clubs. But then I didn't really get much. I haven't gotten a lot of attention on social media still. I don't think that my name is really out there yet, but it's getting out there. And the reason people have started to see me just because of my play, I think watching me on the field, you definitely notice. Not to brag, but I'm definitely someone to see. Like, you'll notice when I'm on the field and when I'm not. So that's kind of just when scouts are out there, whether that's national team scouts or college scouts, they definitely notice I have a presence when I'm on the field. So that's what I would say. Like,
you definitely do.
That's how I get noticed, or I've been starting to get noticed.
So when you were a kid, like if you can look back at everything that like you and your parents did to just get you to the point that you're at right now, like for all the kids that are like youth soccer players, youth athletes in general, like what advice would you give them as far as just like how they can develop their skills to get to the level that you're at? Like what were the things that worked for you? You know, what are things that your parents had you do that like you felt like were a game changer for you?
I think there's a lot that goes into it. Like, for your parents, I don't think that your parents should be pushing you to do something. If you want something, you need to do it yourself. Because I can say from a personal experience, I have siblings, and they're great athletes, but I don't think sometimes they didn't want it as much as I wanted it. Like, I'd be out on the fields every day, whether that's on a holiday, whether it's early morning, pushing yourself and finding that inside of you, because your parents are going to get it out of you. So if your parents want something and you don't want it, I would just move on from it. And then another thing is sticking to what you truly want. Like, your goals, I would say. Not following the trends. It's easy to do what everybody else does, but try and be yourself. So that's like my biggest advice to the youth coming from what I know so far.
So you are just practicing all the time. So, and you said private, so you've been doing privates this whole time. And then as far as like the teams and like changing clubs, what made you decide to move to surf?
I was with SDSC and they weren't giving me what I needed. They were definitely challenging, but I think that for me to go where I needed to go, surf has the best eyeballs on them. So colleges, youth national team, I think that's what really put me ahead with youth national team, just because the club has such high expectations. So the colleges definitely, and all the scouts expect greatness from the players, from the club, from just the organization in general. So I would say moving to surf was like it was a big change. And honestly, I didn't want to go there. My parents just knew that like for my future and what my future needed, they guided me to, go on to surf. So it was a big change, but I'm happy, and I'm happy where I'm at.
And then, so when you're talking about like, let's go back to like the self-motivational thing. Like, so you have been the one pushing, because, I like wonder, and again, I'm speaking as a soccer mom. I'm in my, what's that t-shirt? I'm in my soccer mom era. I see. I'm not going to ever buy that sweater, but that's the era that I'm in right now. So throughout your career up to this point, so you're saying that you were the one pushing it, or was it a collective, like your parents did first, and then at some point it was you pushing it?
They just kind of threw me in, but I don't think that they were pushing me at all. They gave me the freedom to, if I want to train, they'll take me, and they supported me in like everything I wanted to do. Let's say trainings, sometimes I train on holidays, and that's not fun for a family of 4 when you want to just get ready and relax and then go have some family time. But they didn't really push me. It was kind of just me wanting to be out there. Like, it's just the eagerness to be on the field. Because like yesterday, or let's use a recent example, I came back from Atlanta a couple of days ago, and I was on the fields at like 6 hours later. So it's just like wanting to be there. Obviously I was tired. I played a game the day before, but I just know like I want to be on the field and I want to touch the ball. So it's never comes from my parents. It's always just like me wanting to be out there.
So what is the goal for you? Like, what's the big dream? Like, if you could paint Jaiden Rodriguez's like dream situation and dream life, what would it be?
I want to play on the senior national team, which is, I'm already on the pathway to that because I've been on the youth national teams, but I want to be on the senior one and compete with my country in the Olympics and the World Cup, just on the big stages, and then just put my name out there, be an inspiration to girls that, they started kind of where I'm at, where it's just you got thrown in. That's pretty much how everybody starts. You just get thrown in, and you just find the love for the game. So showing girls, like, how to find the love for the game, but also, like, following what you truly believe in, like, what you want to do.
And then what position are you playing right now?
A midfielder, so a 10 or an 8.
Okay. And then have you always been a midfielder?
Yeah, I've pretty much been a midfielder my whole life.
That's awesome. So they found your spot and they kept you in your spot, and you're just like, don't move me from my spot. This is me.
Yeah, there's qualities. For like the different positions, you definitely have to have qualities, and I think that I fit most in the midfielder, and that's just where I've been.
And then are you doing anything else to train outside of soccer to condition yourself?
Yeah, so slowly I've been working on lifting and speed because I've always been on the smaller side of players. So if I started lifting or working on body work, I think it would have stunted my growth. So now I'm slowly incorporating lifting, speed training, and the plyometrics, everything to keep me healthy. And then also as you get older, recovery. This has been hard for me because I'm not the best when it comes to recovery, but
okay. What do you mean by that?
Recovery, boots, rolling out, stretching. It has to be daily because your body's just gonna tear, and I'm slowly getting used to that. But it's come whether I do it or not, it's gonna happen. Injuries are gonna happen. So I think incorporating all of that stuff now is gonna get super important more than the soccer, because I think I know the soccer pretty well. Whether that's technically it's never gonna go away.
Yeah.
But the only thing you can do is sharpen other parts of your game that are less strong or just on the weaker side.
So what would you say, because I'm thinking about how you said you're on the smaller side. So have you had any challenges with that at all?
No, I mean, like, I can give you a prime example. Messi, he's probably one of the best players in the world. Or he is one of the, the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And I don't think size has anything to do with him. And then you have Ronaldo. You have a tall player that's just as athletic, but even more. He was, like, more made. But I think for me, like, the smaller side, it gives me, like, I'm more shifty than other players. I think there's different qualities that shorter players have that taller players can't get just off genetics or naturally. I've always been on the smaller side, so it's really just not being ashamed of being small. Like, coaches are going to tell you that you can't win headers. Coaches are going to tell you that you just need to stay high. You're not fast enough. But as long as you work and try and sharpen those parts of your craft, then I don't see an issue with being small.
So what would you say has been, like, up to this point, the most challenging thing that you've ever had to face?
I think the biggest thing for me is, like, your social life. Obviously, you're going to have to sacrifice some things, hanging out with your friends, whether you want to go out late, but you have training the next day or you have a game the next day. So it's kind of just, like, that balance. But for me, it's never been an issue with my social life. I built a community with my trainer and, like, everything like that. Like, I have a community where I can just go to if I do need that social, like, welcoming or, like, if I need to be comforted. But usually it's just I'm out there training, so it's not an issue. Like, the social part isn't an issue. And then also as a teenager, a lot of stuff goes on. Like, high school, there's so much that goes on in such a short amount of time. But I would say, like, the social part isn't difficult for me, but I know that for some people my age, I've seen it where they were good players, but, like, high school and just influences get in your head, and I don't think they were able to deal with it. But I would say that hasn't been challenging for me, but I've seen that for, like, other people.
You said that you you play for the youth national team. So you were called up to U17, right?
Yeah.
Do your classmates at school know, like, what you're doing? Like, do they have any idea, like, the level and the gravity of the work that you're doing behind the scenes?
I don't really post about it a lot. Like, I don't really tell people about it a lot. I used to go to school, but now I'm homeschooled, so I don't really deal with that. But freshman year, I'd always ask, like, they'd always ask me, like, where are you going this time? Because my attendance at school, let's be honest, it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really there, so people were obviously wondering where you're at, what are you doing? But the best thing I can say is just, like, stay humble. That's, for me, is very important. They'll hear your name once you're big enough. So once you're there, then you can start telling people that. But otherwise, I don't think anybody...
You just put your head down and hustle and work.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what about your family life? There's 4 of you in your family, right? Siblings.
Yeah.
So it's a family of 6. So how does all of this work? Is everyone involved in the soccer with you? Do they go to all your games? I mean, you're half Filipino, right?
Yeah.
So your mom is the one that's Filipino.
Yeah.
Like, how connected to your roots are you?
I would say for me personally, no offense to my dad's side, but I'm closer to my Filipino side just because my mom is we're always there at my grandma or my Lola's house. We're, like, we're pretty much always there, and we grew up with them. Because we have a lot of kids more my age on that side. Just, I think the oldest is, like, 24, something like that.
Okay.
But they're more close to me, so I would say I'm more connected to them on that side, on my Filipino side. But family-wise, none of my siblings play soccer. Both of my brothers play football, and then my sister has special needs, so she's occupied in other spaces. But my parents definitely play a big part when it comes to, soccer. As a kid, you need rides everywhere. They're there. They're always there. And now that I'm older, like, my brother is definitely contributed, like, in rides and stuff like that. But that's not, like, the only biggest thing. They definitely give me advice when I need it. They're all just super competitive. Like, me and my younger brother go at it all the time, even though we're not the same sport, but we'll still be competing. In the gym, on the field, he's a boy. He's going to be faster than me. He needs to get it through his head sometimes, but he's a little big-headed. But, it's super fun having an athletic family. And then I have a dog. He's also athletic, so we like to wrestle with him and run with him and stuff. So it's just an athletic family overall, and it's super fun. Like, they're there to compete with me. They're also there to support me. Every time I come home, I usually do get hugs from all of them, even though I'm not the biggest fan of hugs, but they're always there for me. So
does your family does family show up to your games? Like, does Lola and Lil, everyone, like, does everyone come out?
She's on the older side, so sometimes she's out there, but it really depends, like, if she really wants to be out there. She lives in the South Bay, so it's kind of difficult for them to come out, especially being in Del Mar and, you know, all the traffic and stuff for them. But I would say, like, my brothers, they come out occasionally. When it's big, like, they'll be there. When I'm on TV, they're usually watching. So, yeah, they're not out there every single game, but I don't need them to be out there. It's just cool when they're out there sometimes, but I don't like going to their games either, let's be real. When I see them on TV, like, then that's when I'll start watching. Otherwise, we're all supporting each other, though. Like, even though we're not physically there, we're still all supporting each other, so.
So what do you do for fun?
I really like cosmetology, so, like, whether that's hair, makeup, nails, I'm, like, into that stuff. But, like, that's where I want to take, if I would like to take my future, like, otherwise. Like, soccer, I like to take it on the side, but, yeah, I like to mess around with that stuff, whether that's on my mom, my cousins, my sister. Like, I just like to mess around with that stuff.
So you're Filipino, and I just want to tell you, like, being a Filipino and running a company that champions Philippine specialty coffee, and we're really trying to put Filipinos and that are performing at a high level of excellence just like on a global stage. And do you have any idea of the gravity of what it is that you are Filipino doing what you're doing?
Not really, but my mom does tell me, like there's a Filipino national team, and that is an option, but I'm not that aware of, like, you know, that community and what an impact I could have on it.
Well, let me tell you that it is huge, because I feel like representation matters and it counts, and I just think that, like, especially in the sport of soccer, I mean, like, can you think of any Filipinos out there that have, like, really, like, made an impact in the sport?
I don't know in soccer, but I did watch the World Cup, and they scored their first goal, like, ever in a World Cup, so that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
I'm not that educated on that.
Right. No, for sure. And so, like, for me, with kids, my kids are half Filipino and then a quarter Chinese and a quarter white. And, like, for them, it was like finding out that you were Filipino and doing what you're doing for the sport was, like, a big deal for them. It made them feel like, oh my gosh, like, I can do that. And then my best friend and co-founder of Mostra, her kids play for surf also. And then her daughter plays for the ECNL 2012 team.
Okay.
She's a goalkeeper, and she's full Filipino, and she just won the world champion futsal championships in Florida. And so yeah, and so, like, for her, you know, like, it was a big deal, because I was, like, looking at all the pictures, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this, like, Filipino girl here, like, in the picture. And then I was, you know, interviewing you today, and I just want you to know that, like, you really are, like, paving the way, and, you know, you really are, like, putting Filipinos, like, on a global stage in a sport that is, like, international. And like, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited. And you're from our neighborhood. You know, we have businesses here, and, like, you're, like, right here in the neighborhood, but, like, doing all this stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, what would you say in your life, and I'm sure you've had plenty, but what would you say was one of your biggest wins? Because it's like, you know, you're hustling, but what was that moment that you can think back on where you were like, this was a huge moment for me? Like, I feel like my hard work paid off. I feel accomplished. This is a win.
Okay, so recently I just got called up to a 17s, very recent, but I just got called up to a 17s camp. And previously, before, my 16s coach was talking to me about, like, the opportunity of being called up to a 17 camp. So, like, at that point, I was already getting adrenaline, like, I was going to go to the 17s camp. And then it eventually happened. And these girls are all talented. Like, going there, like, okay, my 16s were very good. I think we're very good. But the 17s, I watched them on TV. So it's, like, different going to an environment where you're watching these girls on a pro stage. Some of them are all ECNL, like, they're big names. So being able to play beside them has been, like, a really big accomplishment recently for me, I guess you can say.
So what's the process like from here on out? playing for U17?
So I just finished my 16 cycle, so now we're 17s technically, but the actual 17s from last year, they still have a World Cup, so that's a possibility. Yeah, they have a World Cup coming up in October.
Okay.
So they'll have I think it's September to October, or it's somewhere in between those 3 months. But that's like the next big thing. But then this next coming year, 2025, they'll start having U17 World Cups for every single age group. So it used to be like 2007s, 2005s, 2003s. It was all the odds. So now it'll hit every single age group. So that's coming up for me. But then also the year up will come up for me, which is obviously this November or October. But next year we'll also have one. So those are two big events that are going to come up. And then also just put it on the crest.
So are you going to play in the World Cup with the 17s?
Not guaranteed, but I just got called up. They're also still a year older than me.
Yeah.
But we do have one coming up too, like for our age group, for my own 2008 age group. So
and then you play with Mel Barcenas, right?
Yeah, I've played with her recently in this camp.
Yeah. Awesome. So I feel like you are going to be tracking exactly the same way and going pro very, very soon. Like, do you feel that?
Yeah, the opportunities are coming, so.
We all heard it here, folks, here at Mostra Monday. I really, really think that you're going pro soon. I'm so excited for your career. If you could play for anybody, who would you play for?
Like in the States or overseas?
In the States.
I don't really have a preference. I definitely have to, it'd be definitely cool to play for San Diego Wave because they're here and it's local and I just have to stay home. I don't have an issue with that. But also moving across the country is also it could be a good change. So I don't really have a preference as of now.
So what about internationally? Is there a team that you would like to play for there?
Not specifically, but I definitely do want to try going overseas just because I think playing for the national team and playing the other girls from overseas, there's definitely quality there too. And it's a different type of game, I guess you can say. They're a lot more technical, and here it's just a different type, just the way they train and stuff. So I'd definitely like to go out there and, see what's going on over there.
Daddy, how do you feel about her going overseas?
For us, obviously you want her to stay close because she's close to you, but at the end of the day, it's not like our journey. It's hers. So we support her, whatever it is that she wants to do. We want to make sure that she gets to see all those different types of things, and then she can make a decision for herself.
Oh, I love that. That's good. Noted. Okay, I'm going to put that in my pocket because I have an 8-year-old and 5-year-old or 6-year-old, and I'm just already mourning them growing up and flying away and doing their thing. But I get it. It's their journey. They got to do what they got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Who is your most favorite player to watch? Someone that just you're excited to watch them play. You just love everything about what this person embodies in an athlete.
I wouldn't say that I have a direct player. I definitely have players that I look up or that I admire their qualities and their traits that they obtain, but I don't think I have a pinpoint player. I think obviously I mentioned Messi and Ronaldo as being the two biggest phenomenons in soccer. Nobody. Okay, don't quote me. I don't think people are gonna get to that type of level. Ronaldo shows hard work. He started from nothing, and then you have Messi, which he used his talents just to take it to the next level. But I wouldn't say I have somebody that I look up to.
So, we sponsor San Diego Wave as their official coffee partner, and the big reason why we got involved with that was because they are there to champion women in sports. And so I think that's what makes you so exciting to me, because not only are you a woman in sports, but you're still playing at the youth level, but you're playing on an international level, and you're also from San Diego. And you're also, Filipino and Mexican, and just you're representing in all the ways. And it's really, really exciting. Do you feel that? Do you feel that embodies who you are?
Yeah, it's everything is super exciting. Seeing different opportunities come, it's definitely sometimes overwhelming. It's only getting started from here. It's a very, I wouldn't say slow start, but I think that I'm just going up from here. Like, I don't think that anything can go downhill unless I make it down. I think I control my journey, so.
You got awarded ECNL Player of the Year, right?
Yeah, for my conference. So here, like the Southwest Conference.
Oh, Southwest Conference.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, there's still so many other athletes, and you got it.
Yeah.
So what did that feel like to get that?
Honestly, I didn't know. One of my teammates or somebody texted me a picture of it, and I honestly didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, they didn't even like award you somewhere?
No, they don't. It's just like when you go to the tournaments, you'll just see your name on a board, and sometimes I don't go to showcases because I have national team duty or I'll just be somewhere with the family or whatever. But yeah, honestly, I didn't see it, but it was definitely cool to see my name up there. And there's a lot of talented girls. Like if you look at that whole list, girls that aren't on that list are also there's still very good players.
Who has been like the most influential person in your life regarding soccer?
I'd definitely say my trainer. He's obviously there on the field, like when I need to fix a technical or just mechanics, but then also off the field. Like when I go to camps, he usually talks to me before I go to camps, just remembering the type of player that I am and just not to get in my head or just remember that like I'm good enough to get called to these camps. So I would say definitely him on and off the field. Like he's definitely been an influence everywhere in all parts of my life. So him, I would probably say. There's days that honestly I don't want to go to practice, but trust me, after the practice, like it's a lot funner. Like once you get there and you're with your friends, I think when you're with your friends and when you have a good team around you, it definitely helps you get through it. But there's not really anything that I do in particular that gets me through like, oh, I don't want to go to training. Besides like think of the future, like what if you don't train and this becomes a habit where you're just like, oh, I don't want to train. Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to train, then obviously, you know, you're taking a step down or you're staying on the same level that you were yesterday. So obviously every day you're trying to get somewhere higher. So getting through it is not just think of like after practice. Like you're just after practice every time I feel better. Like I just feel like after I exercised or after I whatever I did in the training, I think it's a lot better than how I came into the training. So leaving the training is always more fun, or that's how I get through it. And then obviously thinking back to other days where it's like, oh, I didn't want to go to training. How did I feel after the training? I felt a lot better. So just remembering like what you want at the end of the day.
So my friend David Justice won the World Series twice, and I just had lunch with him, and he was literally telling me this. And you know, he's like, you either have it or you don't have it. Like he's just like that yearning to want to achieve your goals. Like it's either in you or it's not. And like literally listening to you now, like you speak like a champion, just like he is. Where it's just like, yeah, like. It's a challenge, but you're like, but I want it more than to sit here, so you just go. You just like always go. Like you said, like you train on holidays. Like who wants to train on a holiday? But you do, because you're like, I want this. I need to get better. Here's a personal question I have for you as a soccer mom, because I'm in my soccer mom era. No. What do you eat before a game? Because like on these tournament days, we're like, there's 2 games. What's your ideal meal before a game in the morning?
So depends obviously on the game time. For me personally, when it's an early morning game, I don't like to eat stuff. It's really bad because when I go to national team, like you have to fuel correctly and properly if you want to perform at your best. But I just here at home, like I don't fuel as good as I could if I want to perform at my very, very best. But eating before like a morning game, I don't really eat that much. And then like afternoon games, it's like light, something that is easily digestible. And then also
I actually need a real example, because her coach will be like, eat light, kids. Like they're like, we want mac and cheese. I'm like, no. Not mac and cheese. So like literally. So like you have a game, I'm making this up. You have a game at 9 a.m. Okay. Like what would you eat if you were home?
I go to nearby bagel shop and I'll just get like a bagel with cream cheese, something that I can just like scarf down.
Yeah. Okay, but what
fast.
about if you're training with the national team? Or actually, you're playing a game with the national team. Like, what are they having you eat before that game?
We don't play in the mornings. Like, they schedule everything, so it's like, like, the game could be from 12 to, like, recently we just played a game at 7:30 at night. So it's, like, a big gap. But, like, if it's midday, they're obviously, the night before, they're already feeling you. So that's carbs and stuff like that. But it's also balancing your carbs, your proteins, and, like, your healthy fats and stuff like that. But they definitely have everything, like, planned out throughout the week. But here, as you get older, like, your girls are still young, we don't play 2 games. So we have a surf cup this weekend.
Yeah.
So now you're playing, usually you'll play 3 or 4 games in 2 days, but now it's going to be, we play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it's 1 game every day because physically your body can't take it anymore.
The 2-game thing is not cool. Like, every time they come back for the second game, all the kids are, like, dragging their feet. They're tired. They're hot. I'm like, how are we supposed to win now? Like, you know what I mean?
I like those games.
You do?
I really like the 2 games. Like, being out on the fields, like, I would spend the whole days out there just watching my friends or just watching games. Like, I think it's a cool experience for the kids. But then when you're older, it's just like, game, okay, go home. Like, it's not. I should have
brought Max to this interview. My daughter wanted to be here. If she heard you, because every time second game, she's like, oh man, you know, especially this weekend, it's gonna be so hot. This is like a legit question. I really do not know what to feed Max. Okay, so let's say you did have a second game. Dad, what were you feeding her before a second game?
So the funny thing is that, like, that's my business, is nutrition.
Oh.
And my daughter doesn't think she needs to be fueled up at home because she's a young girl. They don't think they have so much energy they can do whatever they want at this kind of age.
Yeah.
But we try to implement that into her mind, which she doesn't really take. Like, you're not going to force, you know, a square peg to a round hole.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like, we just provide all the different things that she can have, different types of supplements. But we try to get her to have, like, fibrous carbs, things that she can have that she can take in that won't break down so quickly, but eventually it'll break down.
Okay.
Protein based, we keep her protein based. Like, that's the main thing. Like a protein bar. If she wants a snack, we're like, hey, just have a protein bar so you can.
So
have
before the second game, like, so, but what's for lunch? Like, what are we having for lunch?
So she's having lunch. It's a protein based meal. So it's a protein based meal. So it can be anything. It can be chicken, it can be fish, it can be you know, whatever's protein based, because it's not going to digest super quickly in terms of giving her energy. She doesn't need it right then. You know what I mean? Like, she's not going to have to have that. We want her to be hydrated. That's the biggest thing.
Hydrated,
so hydration, having a drink that has electrolytes in it that's going to make sure that she's getting all that energy that she needs to push her through her game. And we try to get her to drink it before, because on soccer they can't come to the sideline.
No.
Right? They have to drink it before,
right,
in the middle. So she has her 2 drinks. She has the drink that we give her that has her electrolyte drink in it, and then she has her water. So she can have those 2 things. But getting her to drink it, I mean, it's like pulling hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the toughest thing to do, but that's just as it is as a parent. But it's good to hear her talk about nutrition, because as she gets older, like, that's one of the things that we stress with her.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to change the way that you treat your body, because that's what makes you money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's gonna be the longevity in your career is gonna come from how you sacrifice. You sacrifice is great with the social part and all the other stuff, but she has to start getting better at sacrificing for the food part.
Like the whole picture. We gotta,
And that part can be, it's not hard to do. You just have to find the things that you really like.
Yeah.
And you have to incorporate that and to create those really healthy habits. And when she learns how to do that, she's gonna be fine. It's just, it's like pulling teeth.
We're bringing Jesse Rodriguez back to teach us about nutrition for athletes, because this is a serious problem. Like, literally, it's like, this was such valuable information. Okay, I'm glad I asked this question and we turned the camera to Jesse, because that was really helpful. We have, like, so many games this weekend, and I'm like, it's like my stress. Every tournament, I'm like, what am I gonna feed you? So, speaking of food and being Filipino, what are your favorite Filipino dishes?
Okay, I like pancit. I think that's so good, especially when my mom, like, freshly cooks it. That's so good. And then also I like lumpia. That's, like, really good. And then sometimes, honestly, if we're talking about, like, before games, I'll eat, like, a pandesal. So I'll have on the stove with butter. Like, it's so good. It's so
You heard it here first, kids. Get your pandesal and butter before your soccer game. Spoken from the champion herself. That's awesome. Have you been to the Philippines?
No, not yet.
Okay, you are gonna love it there. If you love the food already, oh my gosh, you guys need to go. If you haven't gone to the Philippines, you gotta go. So what would you say some of your fundamental values are?
I have 2 pretty vague ones. Obviously, being the best soccer player you could be, and then also being the best person or human you can be. Those are like things that I stand by. Like, there's obviously more in depth, but I think keeping those close to me and really following my beliefs, I guess you can say, or like sticking true to my core values, or like why I do what I do.
Are you on social media?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have pretty much everything but Twitter.
So what is in your algorithm? What's it on your For You page? Like, what are the types of things that you are interested in?
So when I want to watch something funny, I go to Instagram Reels and just scroll. But then you also got to make sure that you're not like on your. I have 2 accounts, which is like privates for like more of like my friends and my social life, and then one that people, my public account. But I gotta just make sure to like stuff on another account just in case. Like, you never know what could go on what could come up on Reels, because Reels is like out of the blue, like anything could come up. But on my TikTok, a lot of stuff is like, a lot of it's soccer, but because I also have 2 accounts, same thing, one that's like more soccer based and then one's like personal. But one is just, I have soccer videos, whether that's like edits. Like recently I've had a lot of Euros because the Euros just finished, Copa America just finished, so
yeah.
I have a lot of that stuff. But otherwise it's just funny stuff, but nothing like influential. That's like more on my parents' Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah. All right, so before you go, I got this little deck of cards. It's called Let's Get Closer Table Talk, and since we're having a little coffee chat here, just choose a card. It's any random question. I have no idea.
Okay, I'll go this one. Do I read it or you read it?
You can read it, and then you can answer it.
All right. Growing up, were you closest to your mom or dad?
Ooh, juicy. No kidding.
Okay. Athletic-wise, I was closer to my dad, but my mom, like, I'll do anything with her. But with I think I'm a dad's girl. I don't think I'm like
Daddy's girl.
Yeah, I think I'm with my dad more. Not just because he's here, but I think like I spend more time with my dad. I have more like in-depth talks with him because he's more like influential in my career. My mom's a mom. Like, she's gonna be there whenever I like need her, but then she's also just gonna be there whenever. So
Okay, let's do another
All
one.
right. Oh, I think I went out of the thing I went. Okay. What would you do if you had no fear?
What? What would you do if you had no fear? Oh, right. So the question is, like, what's something you're scared of?
Bugs.
But you don't have fear, so you would do it.
I'm scared of bugs, and that's about it. So I don't know. Like, if there's a bug on the floor, I'd like kill it. But usually I wait for someone
To do it for you.
Yeah, or the dog will eat it. Like,
Yeah. You're like, handle that bug, please, thank you. Okay, mine would be, I would skydive. I, in theory, think it's really cool, but I would never. Like, you can pay me to do that. Like, I honestly don't think $1 million would get me to jump
Really?
off. No. Would you skydive?
yeah, I
What?
want to bungee jump. Like, that sounds so cool.
Oh, you would.
I want to, yes.
Is she allowed to do that? No. Okay. Okay.
No, I never
2 more
said
years and I'm an adult.
2 more years, Dad, before the bungee jump. Okay, last question, because you got to get to your game. Okay.
Okay. How do you react when you find yourself stressed? Okay. I'm not stressed that often, to be honest. I think the only thing that gets me stressed is when I'm in like a high performance environment. So obviously I would use national team as an example. The only reason I'd be stressed though is just like wanting to play good or putting pressure on myself to play good, but dealing with it, just also knowing like you're there for a reason. Like, you shouldn't be downgrading yourself because there's other talented players. Like, you're not the only talented player in the country or where you're from, because obviously from your own environment you're coming where you're probably the best and you're probably just walking over people. But then when you come into a high performance environment like national team, or whether that's your club, that could be your high performance environment.
Mm-hmm.
There's no issue with that, but just knowing your value and like you're good and you're there for a reason. So I would say dealing with stress is just like knowing what you're good at and just like be confident in your own craft because it's different than anybody else's.
So are you nervous before a game?
Not before club games. I kind of just mess around. Like, if you watch me, not mess around like that, but I like to have fun when I play. I think the biggest thing when I talk to colleges is they just see that I have fun while I'm on the field. Like, I don't take things too serious, but then national team, like, I do get nervous. When you hear the national anthem, like, it definitely, like, gives you, like, you tear up a little bit just wearing the crest and stuff. But I would say, like, nervous? No, I kind of just try to take it, like, we're just going to go play soccer. Like, we're just going to have fun.
We have time for one more because I'm loving this. I feel like we're, like, digging into other things. Okay.
Next. Okay, what is your favorite part of the day?
She looked at her dad before she responded.
Nighttime. That's when I usually train. Like, I train, like, every day at, like, 6:30, so that's probably my favorite time. And then also, I don't like to wake up early, so I like just being, I'm a night person.
You're a night owl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Well, Jaiden, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast today. I am so excited about your future. You are so mature. And I think people watching this, no matter how old they are going to be inspired by listening to your approach to life, to the sport, to your family. And I appreciate you sharing your story with all of us. I can't wait to have you back and get an update after, your next, year to see like where you go. Like I said earlier, she is going pro like really soon. I can feel it in my bones. But I'm honestly saying that because you've done all the work. You've done the work, and people are continuing to recognize you. So thank you. I hope you kill it at your game today.
Thank you.
And come back to Mostra when you can.
Of course.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you again for tuning in to Mostra Monday. Once again, we had Jaiden Rodriguez here, and she's got such incredible, incredible things to come in the future. I'm Jelynn Malone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.